Hi everybody, this is Elizabeth Zermatt from Your Highest Light, Master Life Coach and Spiritual Coach, here every Tuesday at 3:33 to talk to you about your favorite topic and mine, attracting and creating your most beautiful life. And I'm here again. I'm on Instagram and Facebook. I'm on my regular Facebook page because I know last week I cut out again. I cut out a lot on my regular Facebook page. So here we are. Today we're talking about miracles. So we're talking about making the shift from fear to love. A miracle is not as complicated as it sounds. You know, when we wake up in the morning, we're like, give me a miracle. It sounds like this big, huge, complicated thing like that we have to kind of create or that we have to wait for. And a miracle, according to A Course in Miracles, a miracle is not as complicated as it sounds. So according to A Course in Miracles, a miracle is simply a shift in perception from fear to love. So when we're asking for a miracle, we're simply asking for a shift in perception. I used to run Course in Miracles groups a lot, and we would always talk at the beginning of the group, we would talk about miracles, any miracles that you've experienced this week. And it's funny because sometimes people would be like, talk about great things that happened in their lives that week as the miracle that happened. And that's kind of like the common way of looking at a miracle. According to A Course in Miracles, a miracle has nothing to do with our outer life. It has to do with our inner life. So a miracle is a shift of perception. So when you see something through the eyes of love instead of through the eyes of fear, that is a miracle according to A Course in Miracles. So for instance, I'll just give you an example. If you look at yourself, if you look at a picture of yourself and one day you hate the picture, I'm sure women have all experienced this. I don't know, my husband does this too, so I'm sure men experience this as well, where you're like, oh, that's a horrible picture of me. And then, a couple of years later, you look at that picture and you're like, that's a great picture. So that's a shift in perception. Nothing happened. Nothing changed on the outside. The way you looked at yourself changed. So I always use the example too of a great hair day. A lot of times when we wake up and we're having a great hair day or we're having just a great day, everything's going right. It might not be that everything's going right. It might just be that we're internally seeing things differently. Okay, so a miracle is an internal shift from fear to love. And according to A Course in Miracles, there are only two emotions. So there is fear and love. And, I am a psychotherapist, so this is so simple, and it's so the opposite of psychotherapy. So, because I think psychotherapy tends to complicate our emotions a lot. So if we look at, keeping things simple, the spiritual view is always simple. So our world makes things heavy and complicated and hard, but the spiritual view is always very light. So the answer is simple, and that's why it's so great, because we don't want complicated solutions. That's too overwhelming. Our lives are already complicated enough. The answer is very simple. So fear, what is not love is fear. What is not fear is love. So, and the Course in Miracles talks about everything that somebody does is either an expression of love or a call for love. So if somebody's not acting loving to you, that is a call for love, okay? So I did a live training last week in my Facebook group, Beautiful Mind, Beautiful Life. So go ahead and join my Facebook group if you're not in there. And we talked about changing our thoughts about things that we can't control in our lives. So the Brooke Castillo, the Life Coach School model, talks about circumstances, things in our lives that we can't control. Anything that happened in the past, we cannot control. Other people, we cannot control. What other people think, we cannot control. So we look at those things that we can't control, and it's our thoughts about them that make them good or bad. So our thoughts are the things that we can control and are the things that we can change. So if we change our thoughts about our circumstances, we're going to change our lives, okay? So changing our thoughts changes everything. It changes everything, and really simplifying that and breaking that down is so helpful to us. But the thing is, we don't have to do this on our own. And that's, I think, the part missing from a lot of coaching programs or psychotherapy. We do have the power to change our thoughts, but we don't have to do it on our own. It's like getting up in the morning and thinking that it's you against the world. You'll never make it. But you have mighty companions. You have spiritual companions by your side. Okay? So you don't have to do it alone. You have your higher power, higher consciousness, whatever it is that you call it, God, the universe, whatever it is that you call it. So a simple prayer for this, for higher power, for a change in perception is, please help me to see this differently. Help me to interpret this with love instead of fear. And then you listen for the answer. So help me to see this differently. Help me to listen. Help me to see this through the eyes of love instead of fear. And you wait for the answer. So when you meditate, you are making room for higher consciousness. So when you pray, you're talking to God or the universe. When you meditate, you're listening. So you want to listen for the answer. And when you meditate, you're making room, right? So our stress comes from thinking that we have to handle everything on our own. Think about like the best things that have happened in your life, or, some of the best things that have happened. Probably you didn't strategize and plan it. It just kind of happened. It's something that you look back and you're like, oh my God, I could have never planned that. I never would have guessed that was going to happen. So we do not have to do it on our own. That's where our stress comes in. We have the universe. It supports us. It supports our decisions. It supports what we want. We just have to start using it in the right direction. Okay, so something else I spoke of in my training is thinking of everything that can go right instead of everything that can go wrong. So this happened to me. Hi, Craig, and hi, Cozy. Good to see you guys. And good to see anybody who's joining. So good to see you guys, as always. So a lot of times if I'm experiencing dread in my life, it's because I'm thinking of everything that could go wrong. I always use the example of when I was doing a training once, and for some reason I was dreading it. And what's so weird is that, hi Amit, good to see you. What's so weird is that the ego will keep us like slightly uncomfortable, but not so miserable that we want to change it. So like this underlying dread or fear, that's what the ego will keep you in, because if it really showed itself and showed what it truly was, you would be like, forget it, I'm not going to believe that, this is crazy. But it keeps you slightly uncomfortable enough so you're not going to change it. So I'm very aware of this, and I was like, what is the deal? Why am I feeling fearful about this? And what I realized was I was thinking of everything that could go wrong. I was thinking of everything possible that could go wrong, and not of things that could go right. Like, these are my friends, this is going to be awesome, everything that could possibly go right. So we want to start thinking of things that could go right instead of things that can go wrong. Think of everything that you're going to gain instead of everything you're going to lose. So like I said, a miracle is a shift in perception from fear to love. And it's no coincidence that I'm calling my life coaching group Fear to Love. My life coaching group that's coming up, it's going to be starting in March. I will put the link below so you can see more information about it and you can apply. You can apply until next Monday. So the 25th of February is when the application closes. So this is my Fear to Love coaching group. And like I said, it is not a coincidence that it's called From Fear to Love, when A Course in Miracles calls a shift in perception from fear to love. So if you don't feel excited about your life for the most part, something has gone wrong. A Course in Miracles says that when miracles occur naturally as expressions of love, and when miracles do not occur, something has gone wrong. So we think of a miracle as like something that occurs like once in a lifetime, right? No, it should be happening daily. And if it has not occurred, something has gone wrong. So join my life coaching group, because we're going to make the miracles real. We're going to talk about them. We're going to make them real. We're going to make them more prevalent in our brain, and we're going to be more aware of them. And then they will expand when we do that. So at the end of 2018, I spent a lot of money on a coaching program. And when I first applied for this program, I felt fearful. And I realized that, oh my gosh, why am I feeling such fear? It was because I was thinking of what I was going to lose. I was thinking of the money that I was going to lose by signing up for this program, or everything that could possibly go wrong. As soon as I made the shift, it was a little teeny like micro shift to love, when I thought of everything that could go right. As soon as I made that shift, it was a miracle. I started to get excited about it. I started to get excited about the group. I started to get excited about my life and everything that was going to happen. And guess what? It was one of the best decisions I've ever made. So just making that simple shift from fear to love, thinking of things that can go right instead of thinking that things can go wrong, thinking about what you're going to gain instead of what you're going to lose. So like I said, if miracles are your birthright, if they do not occur, something has gone wrong. Okay, so a little bit more about my group. Just if you're interested, we're going to meet via Zoom bi-weekly. So every other week, we're going to meet for 12 weeks. We're going to claim the miracles. We're going to make them real. I'm going to give you strategies on how to develop more inner peace and create a more beautiful life for yourself. I'm a psychotherapist, and I'm also a life coach. I have a lot of experience in both, making these shifts. And I have a good balance between the spirituality part of it and the mental health part of it. So let's see, what will you gain? You will gain strategies to help you make the shift in perception from fear to love. You will gain more self-love and more self-confidence. You will gain more trust in the universe. and you will learn how to create a life that you want and a life that you are excited about. We are here to create. We are here to create beauty. We are here to be happy. We are here to create the lives we want. And if we're living at the effect of everything, we're not creating, okay? So I want you to start creating your life, and no matter what, you know, if you sign up for my group, or if you go and are signing up for some other like self-development program, whatever you're signing up for, whatever it is you're thinking, take the plunge, take the risk. Do it. If it's good, you are worth it. You are worth investing in yourself to do this, okay? So that whatever the cost or the time, if it's something that calls to you and something that you feel you would benefit from, start thinking about what you're going to gain from it instead of what you're going to lose from it, okay? So I love you guys so much. I will see you next Tuesday at 3:33, and I will announce if I'm going to be on my regular Facebook page or my other Facebook page. I've been kind of jumping back and forth. So I'll announce it the day before like I did this time, okay? I love you guys. I will see you guys next week. Peace and love. Prudence is sleeping. She had a little bit of a rough day yesterday. She went to the vet, but that's okay. So I will see you guys. I'm going to post everything below. On Facebook, I will post the links below, and on Instagram, you will see it is in my bio. Okay, bye guys. See you next week. Bye.